Monday, Math Super Scholars, and I am excited because we are going to continue working on the same two-digit strategy we were working on last week. We're going to take some more time this week to strengthen and sharpen our skills of mental math. We've been working on a strategy, a skill that's going to be in our mathematician toolbox that we can pull out and use when we want to solve two-digit problems. We're going to keep working on that strategy and use a new tool today to deepen our understanding of how it works. So let's remind ourselves of our learning target. It says, I can solve two-digit problems by using my knowledge of tens. Of course, our super awesome mathematician friends, the tens, since they are so much simpler to work with. We're using our old knowledge, our place value, knowledge of adding and subtracting tens in order to do something new. Solve these two-digit problems mentally in our head. So, as we looked at last week, we were really working with this number line. The number line is one awesome tool to look at this strategy, and we'll be using a new one today as well. So let's remind ourselves. If I wanted to add or subtract 11 to a number, I want to add 11 or subtract. But I want to break it down to make it simpler for myself and solve it mentally. I know 11 is right next to my favorite number 10 on the number line, and 10's numbers are way simpler to work with. So instead of adding or subtracting 11, I'm going to start by quickly adding or subtracting just one 10 in my head. Boom, I got that. But I only added or subtracted that one 10. In fact, I wanted to add or subtract 11. So in order to do the next step to finally solve my problem, this is a bigger number than 10, so I need to keep adding or subtracting. If we're trying to add a number that's bigger than the tens, we need to keep adding or keep subtracting because we're adding or taking away more. So we have to keep doing what we already were doing. If we're trying to add or subtract a bigger number than 10, we gotta keep going. But on the other side, I don't wanna add or subtract 11. I only wanna add or subtract 9. But 9 gets tricky, but I know my favorite number is right close to 9, of course, 10. So again, I can first thing, quickly add or subtract just one 10. Boom, I did that in my head. But I actually only wanted to add or subtract 9. 10 is too much. I only wanted to subtract or add 9. So my friends, if we are trying to add or subtract a smaller number than 10, so 10's too much, we only wanted to add or subtract a smaller number, we have to reverse, do the opposite of what we were already doing. So my friends, if I added 10, oh, that's too much. So in order to go back to fix it and only add 9, I need to go backwards and subtract. I need to subtract to go back down that number line. So if I added 10, but I only wanted to add 9, I need to reverse it and now subtract instead. The same thing is true. If I subtracted 10, I took away a whole 10, that was too much. I only wanted to take away 9. So to go backwards now to fix it, I took away 10, subtracted 10, and now I need to add back, do the opposite, add in order to just take away 9. So if I subtracted too much, I now have to add and reverse what I did to find that smaller number. This is the pattern we're going to see today. Finding a bigger number than 10, you just got to keep doing what you're doing. But if we're trying to find a smaller number than 10, you have to reverse and change to the opposite of what we were doing. This is a little key you will see as we start working. Okay, my friends, so the 2 steps to our 10 strategy that we're going to continue working on today is first things first, we have to add or subtract the tens. That's the place value knowledge we already have, so we want to do it first. We add or subtract that tens number that's really close to what we're working with. Once we've done that mental math, we can keep going and find one more or one less. This is just when we're hopping really quickly down the number line, finding one more or one less from that tens number we quickly added. So we have 2 steps in each part of the strategy that we're working with today. Okay, so my friends, the new tool, it's not new, but it's new for a while, is our hundreds chart that we are going to use. So, you might need to pause the video and go look for it, but you need your hundreds chart out today. It can be in a little pocket protector, so you can write with a whiteboard marker, or if you have your eraser counters, you can just be following along as well. That's up to you, but we're going to be practicing our strategy using our hundreds chart. So get it out and let's get started. Okay, awesome people. The first problem we're going to solve is 46 plus 11. So where are we going to start? Where is 46 on your hundreds chart? We've got 4 tens and 6 ones. 46 is right pretty close to the middle. 46. We want to add 11. But I don't want to work with 11. I want to add our tens because that's way simpler. So my friends, 11. What tens number is right next to 11 on our number line? 10, of course, just 1 10. So we want to just add 1 10 as our first step in our mental math strategy. So my friends, 46 plus 10. What would that be? Let's see. We've got 4 tens right now. You're just going to add 1 of them. So our tens place is going up. What is our new number? 56, exactly. We just added 1 10. But my friends, did we want to add 10? No, we wanted to add 11. We wanted to add a bigger number than our tens. So we have to keep going, keep doing what we already were. We added just a 10, but we want to add 11. So we need to keep adding. So second grade, we added 10, and we just need to add how many more to add 11? How much more? Just 1 more. So let's add 1. What will we get? We have 6 ones to 7 ones. What's our number? We have 57, exactly, 57. Because we broke this down for ourselves, we added 10 and then had to add 1 in order to find that bigger number plus 11. Our answer is 57. Okay, great start. Let's reset. Okay, you ready? So 46 plus 9 is next. I don't want to add 11 anymore. I want to add 9. So we're going to start in the same place. Where's 46? Right here we have 46, exactly. And we want to add 9. That gets tricky So we want to add our tens instead. My friends, 9 is right here on our number line. What's the tens number? Super close. Ding, ding, ding. 10, of course, just one 10. We instead want our first step to be 46 plus 10. Because that's our old knowledge we can do right away. Let's see. We're at 46. We want to add a 10. So our tens place is going to get bigger. And we will have 56. Of course, the same, 56. We went from 4 tens to 5 tens because we just added 1. But my friends, did we just want to add 10? No, we actually wanted to add 9. And since 9 is a smaller number than 10, we went too far. We added too much when we added 10. That was too much. So in order to go back to just add 9, we have to reverse what we did. So if we added 10, we now have to do the opposite, which is to subtract. We have to go backwards. Subtract to just add 9. So if we added 10, we now have to subtract how much to get to 9? Subtract just 1. There's just 1. So we're going to go down, get a smaller number. From 56, we're now going to have 55. 55. Because we had 6 ones, then we subtracted, reversed, and now have 55. So 46 plus 9 equals 55. We were first able to quickly add that tens, and then change it just 1 back, subtract 1, and get 55. So using our hundreds chart helps us track each step to see where we've gone and how we get to our answer at each little jump. So now let's look at subtraction. Can everybody reset? But before we keep going, we deserve a break for Monday math. So come on, you know what to do. Stand up, up, up. Push that chair in. And let's choose this or that. So which of these snacks do you prefer? A fruit leather. So like that thin kind of piece of fruit where it's all pressed together. Fruit leather. If so, you're going to move side to side. Or do you prefer fruit snacks? If so, you're going to move your body front to back. What do you choose? Fruit leather or fruit snacks? What's your choice? I prefer fruit leathers, so I'm going to move side to side. You ready? Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job moving your bodies. Come on, sit right back down with me, and let's check out our next puzzle. Okay, same start, 73, but minus 9 instead. Where was 73 on our board? Do you remember? Can you circle or dot it? 73, right down here. That's our starting point. Our job right now is to take away 9, but that looks a bit confusing. So what's that first step that we want to do instead? We want to take away the tens, because that's way quicker for us. So my friends, 9 is next to what tens number? Just 10, of course, 1 10. So using our place value knowledge, we can quickly take away just 10. What was that again? 73 minus 110 is 63, of course. Look, we went from 7 to 6 tenths. We now have 63. 3. But what do we actually want to take away? 9. But second grade, 9 is smaller than 10. By taking away 10, we took away too much. So we have to go backtrack, in order to just take away 9. We have to reverse what we did. If we subtracted 10 too much, what's the opposite we have to do now? Not subtract, but we have to add. We have to reverse because we took away too much. So now we're going to add back. My friends, if we took away 10, going from 10 to 9, how much are we going to add back? This is how much? Just 1. We're just going to add back 1. So if we have 63 and we need to add 1, what would our new number be? 63 and then 64. There we go. 64. Because we first subtracted a 10, that was really close. But then in order to just take away 9, we had to add back the 1, reverse, and got 64 as our final answer. Okay, so we have practiced on our hundreds chart with just 11 and 9. Let's look at 2 more problems where we bump it up to adding and subtracting even bigger numbers. Still keep your chart out because we're going to use the same skills. So let's reset. Okay, you got a nice clear board? Let's check out our next challenge. We're going to solve 46 plus 19. Ooh, that's tricky, but we got the skills to make it simpler. So, first step, what's the first thing we want to do to break this problem down? Instead of adding 19, we want to add the tens. So what's the closest tens number to 19? What's next to it on the number line? 20, of course. And 20 is how many tens? How many tens is 20? 2 tens, of course. So as our first step, we want to add 2 tens to 46. So where is 46, second grade? Where do you see 46? Awesome, we worked with it before, right in the middle. So starting at 46, we want to add 2 tens. What do you see? 1 10, 2 tens. What's our number? 66, exactly. We went from 4, 5, 6 tens, 66. Now that we quickly just jumped up 2 tens, we only want to add 19. So what do? If we added 20, that was too much. We just want to add 19. So we went all the way to 20, but we want to go back to just add 19. So what do we have to do? We have to reverse what we did. So if we added too much, we now need to subtract. We need to do the opposite. So how much are we going to subtract? We were at 20, but to go to 19, we're just going to subtract just 1. It's just 1 difference. So we're at 66 right now. We're now going to subtract 1. So we're going to get what number? 65. There you go, 65. We went down the number line. We subtracted 1 and got 65 for 46 plus 19. Because we went too far at first, we did it quick. So we just had to subtract 1, do the opposite to fix it, and get our final answer. Awesome. Are you ready for One last one. Let's see what you got. Reset. Okay, and finally, let's look at 73 minus 29. So we're at 73, and we want to take away 29. That's a little tricky. Let's break it down into our steps. So my friends, we don't want to take away 29. We want to take a simpler number away. And that is what we call the tens. We want to take away a tens number. So if we're at 29, what's the closest tens number? 30, of course. Good job. So we want to take away 30 first, since we can use our place value knowledge to do that. How many tens are in 30? 3, of course. So we just want to quickly take away 3 tens. Let's see, where is 73 on our hundreds chart? Where is 73? Awesome, right here. We just need to move 3 spaces as our tens place is going down. What do we get, second grade? 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens. What would our number be? 43, exactly. 43 when we're taking away 3 tens. But did we want to take away 30? No, we only wanted to take away 29. He subtracted too much, so to change that, we have to now do the opposite. We have to add to go back. We took away too much, so to fix it, we have to reverse it and now add. How much are we going to add? We took away 30, but just want 29. What's the difference? Just 1, exactly. So we just want to add back that 1 in order to only subtract 29. So if we're at 43, remember we're reversing, we have to add back to fix it. So 43 becomes, we have 44. Because first, Super Scholars, we decided to subtract 3 tenths, since that quick mental math, and then had to subtract a smaller number than those tenths. So we had to reverse and add back what we took, and ended up with 44. 73 minus 29 equals 44. Thank you so much, second grade, for using a brand new tool as your hundreds chart to help us see the different steps we use when we're using this strategy. It's now going to be your job to keep this chart out and practice tracking your path as you solve this next set of problems. Okay, here is your way to show me what you know. You're going to break down these problems and use your tens skills. So you have 4 addition and 4 subtraction problems you need to find. Solve them by using your hundreds chart or your mental math skills. You can track your progress on how to solve these problems by first adding or subtracting tens, and number 2, then finding 1 more or 1 less, having to jump back and forth between those 9 and 11. In second grade, just like last week, you have the little clue on the side of each problem. Notice the pattern, that when you're adding or subtracting a number that's smaller than a tenth, that's when you have to reverse what you did. So if you added, you have to subtract. If you subtract, then you have to add to fix it because you went too far. But if you're trying to add or subtract a number bigger than your tens, you just need to keep going. If you're adding, keep adding. If you're subtracting, keep subtracting, because you're working with that bigger number than the tens on the first step. If you get stuck second grade, remember, our first step is to always add or subtract the tens. Ask yourself, what's the closest 10? What's next to these numbers on our number line? Do that first step and then work from there with the clues on the side to find one more or one less. So, keep this trusty new chart out. If you like to use your number lines, go ahead and do that. But let's keep working all the way up to our mental math skills. Let's go.